cool. Let's do it. Awesome. What's up, man? So, welcome back to Christian and Crystal. We are joined by our good friend and community leader, Eric Serrano. How are you doing today, brother?
What's going on, guys? Feeling awesome. Blessed to be here. Thank you for the chance to connect.
Hi everyone, sorry for the interruption. Unfortunately, as we were editing, we noticed that about 7 minutes were cut out.
But nonetheless, all of the value is still there. And we had such a great conversation with Eric. So, sorry about the technical difficulties, but the rest of it's there. And we hope you guys enjoy. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Super
Yeah.
cool.
So,
Um, Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, yeah.
I was just
So
thinking, like,
basically,
the American dream, man. That's the American dream right there. Right?
America,
Super.
man,
It is
isn't
100%,
it
man.
like the American
Yeah.
dream? Um, I think so. I'm really driven, man. I'm really driven um, by by the fact that I've seen it happen, and
Yeah.
so, and I believe.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those things where faith meets the expectation. I think we all have a
Yeah.
faith for something, right? We all believe for something. Some people are like, yeah, I'll believe one day I'll get $1 million. I believe I'll buy me that dream car, right? And but and I'm not saying that that it can't happen. Hey, listen, you work at it, and you do your part. Hey, listen, doors can open, but I will tell you, um and I have no credit to my own, but I will say that when you get to see it, it's a whole different it's a whole different reality. Because when faith meets the expectation, when you're like, wow, this is what it looks like when someone works. This is what
Yeah.
it looks like when people dedicate themselves and they say, hey, listen, no, 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 no struggle is going to hold us down. No financial issue is going to bring us down. Like when people really work, again, just all kudos to the ethic and that dedication that my parents put out.
Yeah.
My goodness, my
So
goodness.
that's where
So
you.
I
So that's where
I
you. That's
believe.
where you. I love it. No, that's so. So that's where you get it. Your drive. So this drive, this passion, this work ethic. You credit that to your parents. Is that's
Absolutely.
dude? That's awesome. What a blessing, man.
Abs-
What a blessing. I
abs-
love that. So, man, that's beautiful. What were these businesses? Just curious. The businesses that they were able to create out here. I was curious. What are they?
Yeah, so actually, so there've been our family has opened it's funny, we've been in the flower business, and
Okay.
we've opened literally in our family. I Oh my goodness. So it's if a conglomerate can be utilized here, it would really count, because it started with my uncle. And my uncle, I think he has real honestly, at some point he had about 10 flower shops. And then he went ahead, he encouraged my dad to launch his own, and then my parents launched about five, and then my other uncle launched another two. And so, um, listen, I'll be honest, these are individuals who didn't even know how to speak English, right?
Yeah.
And but I'll tell you, um, it also showed me that, um, yeah, I think if I can just say this, there's this big, uh, it's like a cloud that kind of hovers over um, conversations about different ethnicities, races, and community. There's a cloud that's always kind of hovering
Yeah.
about racism, etc. But I'll tell you honestly, man, people there are more loving people, there are more kind people, there are more people that are open to support than any of that. And I think that when we really like shine light to the grace and the empowerment that our community stands for, and I'm talking about as a whole, California, Los Angeles County, it's just
Right.
it's an embracing. um eh, I'll just say this: I am very grateful for what our country has allowed, the opportunities it has opened.
100%.
And man, and so I'm telling you, so yes, now, by and again, time and work and dedication, they're proud to say that they're Americans too, and they get
Yeah,
to join in that.
for sure.
But I'm telling you, really awesome stuff.
You know what's super cool is I love that you brought that up, and what's really funny with what I'm about to say is I try not to get too like political with like some conversations, but the reason I think that that's funny is because me and you met in politics. Like that's literally how we met, and
That is
so it's kind of funny, huh? So it's just
awesome.
like, oh, but but one thing that's really interesting is this here. So for everybody that's watching, uh, this is the American dream. So you you and me. So a lot of people don't know this. I don't talk about it too often, but I also my dad is an immigrant as well. So he migrated here from Honduras. So he was an undocumented um, immigrant here, and I remember going with him in 2010 to get his citizenship. So that was a really big day, for us and our family. So I don't talk about it often, but it's just very interesting that both you and I, really trying to do these positive things for our community, regardless of race, religion, background. We both came from immigrant parents, and I think that it's kind of incredible to kind of understand that and see that we're really just out here trying to serve our community, and um, but we came from those immigrant parents, and I so to my point, like I think
Yeah.
this what we're looking at right now is the American dream. Like they came here, my grandma came here to provide a better life for her family. And so I know she's very grateful for the life that we've all been able to provide. But to say that our parents, our grandparents, they, migrated here and they're undocumented and they were immigrants when they came here. And then you see us, serving the community and trying to build this life. But my point to that is it's not just like our community we're trying to serve or just the Hispanic culture. It's everybody, like
Yeah.
we're not we're
Right.
no race, religion, background, like that doesn't matter to us. We're just here. We were given an opportunity to be here, and I think we both recognize that opportunity, and I think we're both grateful that our grandparents, our parents, that they came here to give us that opportunity, and we're going to do everything we can to to do something about that, And so for anybody watching, I think that this is the American dream, for us to be able to provide for our families and have our kids and serve our community. I think that's what it's about, and have our businesses, So I think that's pretty incredible.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah. Honestly, it's so cool that you bring that all up. Our stories are very similar. I'll tell you this. I brought the word perspective at the beginning, and if I could just circle back to that, because seeing all of that gave me a perspective for really what the American dream was. And if I may, and people might look at it differently, but I think, to me, the American dream is providing for my family, building a
Right.
home,
Yeah.
and so, and when I look at that, so, just that for me is the driving force for what I do in the community. I see people and I'm like, yo, like if you work hard and if you're trying to provide for your family, let's make it happen. Let's make a way. And
Yeah.
um and yeah, man.
I love it. That's so cool. That's awesome. Yeah. That went in a whole different direction than I thought it would. So that was actually pretty cool. I like that wasn't that wasn't even a talking point, but how you
Yeah, yeah.
started that, and I'm like, no, I think this needs to be talked about. Especially because just the times that we're kind of in right now, and just a lot of uncertainty
For
this
sure.
year, and um you know without getting too much into it, I think that it's important to understand that, you know, um, we're here, and we all come from a different background, and there's a lot going on, and there's we live in California, we're very close to LA, and there's riots in LA, and um, my
Yeah.
grandma, she's currently here staying with us. She lives in Idaho, but she is an immigrant here, and I mean she's a citizen now, but she migrated here, like I said, from Honduras in 1966. And so I talked to her about it, and I'm like, what do you think about this? And she has her opinion on it, and um, but it's just very interesting, to have that perspective of somebody who came here for the American dream, but it worked. Like, I'm just proud to say that it did work. Like, she came
Yeah.
here, with a vision. Her and my grandpa, and they had a vision for what they wanted to provide for their family, and the fact that we're sitting here on a podcast just talking about it and serving our community, I think it worked. And so I think it's
Yeah.
important, to understand that it's not it's actually not, in my opinion. I don't have all the facts, but the I don't know who's rioting in LA. I don't know if they were paid to be there. I don't know if it's a group that decided to be there, but I can tell you it's not the hardworking people who came here for the American dream, because I don't see any of them out there rioting. And so,
Right.
and we're proof of that.
Yeah.
Here having this
Yeah.
conversation, and
Absolutely.
family that we have, is definitely proof of that. So it works, clearly, and we're proof of that, and we get to prove that and serve. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I think it's a good time to talk about how he's used that entrepreneurial spirit to kind of build your own business as well,
Yeah.
in addition to what you do for the city and everything. So, kind of, how did you get into that? You
Yeah.
could talk.
Cool. Yeah, Crystal, thank you for that. Yeah, so I think again, same thing. The perspective piece, it really was a commitment to my family. Um, you know, Being able to see what my parents were able to do with so little, it really it encouraged me um, to believe, but not just believe in just hope, in the hope of something, but to believe in something tangible, right? And I was able to say, hey, listen. Um, I've seen it done, and it's been done, and I know that um, if I work at it, and and just that hint of God's grace, right? It's gonna work out. So long story short, um, yeah. So we launched a business um, doing construction, and so my wife and I, we own a construction firm. It's called Funding Works Contractors, and literally our business is dedicated to, honestly, to helping out the community. One of the things that I kind of put in my heart was, I said, hey, how can I help my family while helping others? Now, hear me out, because this is a little bit interesting, the way the perspective, the vision came about. Having conversations with a couple of folks close to me, um, who were contractors. They were licensed contractors. They worked projects, and they were great at their trades, great at their crafts. Here's the reality that we ran into. They weren't able to understand a lot of the language that was being
Mhm.
presented to them in contracts. And so um and so, because I've had a lot of part of my background has been being involved in the church community. That's been one of the neighborhoods that I operate in, right? And so, because of that, a lot of people approach me with just trust, and willingness to open themselves up to me. And so they would approach me, and they would say, hey, would you be willing to read these contracts for me? Now, mind you, um, uh, some of these some of these abilities have been crafted through my job,
Mm-hmm.
working for the government as well. I've
Mhm.
learned a lot of contracts and, and just overseeing a lot of paperwork. So, of course, it made sense that they would approach me. Right? Can you help me read, understand the following contract? And you help me, break down the pieces and statements of operation, scopes, et cetera, et cetera. So, long story short, I started helping them with that, and they started getting contracts. They started getting actual, like, they started winning bids. Hey, come on, right? This is what it's about. And
Yeah.
so here we have families that were now being blessed. Their businesses were growing, and and Christian, Crystal. Here's the thing. It was such a flashback for me because a lot of these folks that were approaching me, again, the hardworking folks,
Mm-hmm.
dedicated, but they were missing something, right? In this case, they didn't know how to read the English language or comprehend it as well as they as well as they could. and
Mm-hmm.
um and so here's me giving my 2 cents. Like, really, what am I doing here? Just helping you out. And so as that kind of unfolded, um you know the dream started becoming more of a or the support started becoming more of an opportunity, which led
Mm-hmm.
to a dream, which became a reality, which was a business. So a lot of these different contractors were like, hey, listen, we you've been blessing us, and we'd love to bless you, we'd love to sign up. And so we ended up creating a construction firm, legit a firm, where we provide services for different licensed contractors. They sign up under our company. And so, at first, again, it was really simple. But, we're a few years into the vision and into, kind of putting it all together. And so now really we provide everything from top down builds, from ground up builds, I apologize,
Mm-hmm.
all the way to government contracts. So we're doing it all. We're doing everything we can. We have, under our company, we have several general contractors that are signed up. We have architects that are signed under us. We have, different licensed trades that are signed. So all these are licensed individuals that are signed under our company. And uh, we get them work, man. We activate and we get our people
That's
working,
awesome.
and we get different jobs. So we have builds, Nevada, we have Northern California right now, and Southern California. So it's been a blessing.
That's awesome,
That is
man.
awesome.
Sounds like you've been busy. So we have just some of our following. A lot of our following is real estate. A lot of real estate uh, investors and traditional real estate. We have a lot of following from our real estate friends. But what what would be a reason for them to do business with you and your construction firm versus picking somebody else or some of their general contractors? What gives you the competitive edge?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, um, you know, I would tell you guys this, that for us, the key is relationship. Like, there is nothing more important for me than relationship. And I don't say that on a business perspective. This is not a sales. It's a lifestyle. I've built my entire career on building relationships. So, with the component that follows relationship is understanding. And so you and I have an understanding, whatever the projects you need, of course, I preface all of that with, we have the experience, we have the workers, we have the licenses, we have, I mean, a complete set. Our backing, by the way, just as a little bit of our history, is we have under our belt government contracts. We have under our
Mm-hmm.
belt full, construction projects, everything from foundations all the way to, actually putting up, the structures, electrical, roofing. I mean, you name it, we literally have it all in our company. But really, what you get is understanding and partnership. And so
Mm.
what that means is, I understand that you're trying to develop a business. I understand that you're trying to build a future. and you understand that I'm trying to develop a future, I'm trying to develop a business, and so together we're able to collaborate, together we're able to build, and more importantly, because a lot of, it's not, there is a very important business dynamic to relationships, these type of relationships. And so I'll tell you this, one of the things that we really we're really about is the fact that are able to we're able to find within our own network the best price. So
Mm.
my own GCs, I have multiple GCs in my firm, and so I can literally, say to them, hey guys, listen, the quote that you guys are giving me is not matching the quote that my other GC, which is your own partner, is giving me.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so together, my firm works to get the price to make sense. And some of the issues, so because for those who are in real estate and those who are in construction a little bit, some of the issues with the price differentials is that certain contractors have to outsource jobs, and they have to wait for these random third parties to give them the prices. I don't have to do that because I have all of the different contractors and workers under our firm. And so, whenever the price isn't making sense, I say, hey, listen, which is what labor, what trade is it that you're having a hard time with? And so those are internal pieces, of course, right? So that's
Yeah.
what we do
Mhm.
in our company. And we just plug in the right piece and we say, look, if that's the trade that we need to lower prices, let me activate so and so in our company. And we're able to get the prices um where where we need them to be. And again, so what we're doing here is everything that we can to promote the relationship. And so once we get relationship going, I hey, listen, we're we can do it. It's unbreakable.
I love that, man. Super cool. Yeah, no, that's I feel like that's where your strength is. Like you're known for building those strong
Mhm.
relationships. I mean, given your role with the city as well, like that makes a lot of sense. Like that's definitely your strength. So, but what is your approach? Like, what's your approach to building that relationship and that trust in business?
Yeah,
Like, how do you do
honestly,
that?
um, so I'll tell you, I think that one of the principles that I live by, and you might laugh, it's a little silly, and perhaps it might sound a little bit strange, but let me tell you this story about the Bible, just quick. No, not
Yeah,
ascribing to any religious principles here. Just want to just share something that has given me a lot of perspective in life. There's a story about this lady who is pretty much she's kind of like at the feet of Jesus in this story is the key figure, right? He's the key person. And based on the narrative, he's probably eating. So that's what we have, right? And so what's interesting about the story is that this woman approaches Jesus, and she is not supposed to talk to him because they're from two different ethnic backgrounds, and then culturally back in those days, men and women didn't interact. Let's not get into all the details, but basically, they're not supposed to be talking. That's the key here.
yeah,
And this woman goes ahead and she tells Jesus, again, the key figure in this narrative, apparently he is a miracle worker. Okay. So she goes ahead and she talks to the guy, breaks the rule, and she says, hey, can you can you do something for me, right? Like, can you activate your miracle working power? Like, hey, listen, help, I need you, right? That type of thing, right? And and what's crazy is that he literally looks at her and he says, like who are you, like what are you doing? He looks at her like a crazy woman, and he says, something along the lines of like, don't you know that, like, the blessings and that the gifts that God has are only for his children, and not the dogs. Yo, I know it's that serious. So but look, I get serious, I get crazy about it because what's about to unfold is the most powerful statement history has ever known. because the woman looks at him and she literally says, yes, yes, you're right. The food is for the children, but even the dogs get to eat from the crumbles, from the crumbs of the master's
Yeah.
table. Oh,
Mm.
oh, listen, listen, Christian, man, that right there has, in case, if I'm not being clear about it, what I'm saying is this, that look, the way I approach relationships and the way I approach business is, man, look, I'm not here because I'm the best. I'm not here because
Mhm.
I feel like I've made it. I'm not trying to approach you because I think I'm at your level, right? There's certain entrepreneurs who've been, you guys have made it fantastic. But I'll tell you something. One of the things that I do believe is that everyone deserves a right, and that we all believe. And if we all are given a chance, man, look, if it says that if you're faithful in the little, God puts you over the much. And I trust that
Yeah.
as a philosophy in life. I always approach all my relationships with that. I say, hey, man, give me an opportunity. Get to know me, right? Like,
Yeah.
hey, let's go out for coffee. Um, and I think if we started approaching life like that, not just for business, but for relationship and for just really understanding and gaining purpose, uh, I think, we would be a lot happier and a lot more successful. Because a lot of times we close opportunity doors on
Yeah.
people, and sometimes that person can be the blessing that you needed. That could have been the answer, but you closed the door, right?
Yeah.
and uh and vice versa, maybe you could have been the opportunity for him, just like someone gave you the opportunity at one time. And so I always say that, look, in business, what I say is, man, throw me a dog bone. Throw me a dog
Yeah.
bone. Give me an opportunity. Let me show you what we can do. And so my family here, my agents, everyone who's, you know, wondering, hey man, should we give this guy a try? I tell you, man, give us a chance. Let us show you what we can do.
I love that. That's awesome. That's super cool. So, I mean, what I get from that is, I agree. Like, relationships are so important, and so just kind of what I was gathering from what you were talking was, just kind of humbling yourself. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And so, what I gathered from what you were saying, that's what I got from what you were saying, and just being humble enough to serve, and I think that's what it's about. So I love that you shared that story. I think that was a good way to describe it. So, but you're good at it, man. You're good at building those relationships, and that's why I wanted to know, like, how do you go about, building that, and your passion, your drive, your energy, um, but your humbleness as well. In it, like, you're just here to serve. That's something we can all learn from and take from you, is that servant leadership that you have. And I think you described that well. So super cool. That's awesome, man. Thanks for sharing that story.
Thanks, bro. Thanks.
So, but as far as, um, maybe not just construct your construction firm or your businesses, but maybe what do you hope to build out here in the community, um, aside from just the construction firm, but in terms of maybe legacy or that serving, what do you hope to build out here?
Yeah, honestly, this is home for me. Like, this is home. My roots have been planted here for several years. I think we came out here when I was about 14 years old. I'm, 36, and so, um, I don't know anything other than this. And one of the biggest, um, you know, aspirations I have, at least when it comes to our community, is to see our city, you know, to see it just blossom into a full on, s- a city. We've outgrown a town for sure. So, um, you know, and
Yeah.
and I just think that, yeah. So I just think we do what we can to kind of set it for success. Um, if I may, let me share this for a second. So one of the recent polls actually shows that the population here in the Antelope Valley, so AV as a whole, has actually now flipped to Latinos being the majority out here. So we're actually, so some polls show 51% and others show 53. I mean, either one, that's already a majority number.
Mhm.
But really, what kind of presses me is, um so I'm not really about, like, hey, look, we're the Latinos and the Hispanic, and it's not really what I want. What I want to see is healthy families. I'm about
Yeah.
families, right? And so, what I'd love to see is for this, um this number that's being reflected in the polls to also reflect, um you know families that are living the dream, the American dream.
Yeah.
And so, man, um legacy wise, I just want to see our town grow, our city develop, build. Currently I have, been tasked, of course, with the opportunity to serve the city of Lancaster, specifically in the city itself.
Yeah.
And some of the projects that I've been able to lead and just kind of put together have been, for example, we have coming up right now, in August. Actually, we're going to be giving out. It's actually the largest backpack the backpack
Backpack drive,
and
right?
health services. Yeah, it's the largest backpack and health services drive in the county of Los
Wow.
Angeles, um, where we are giving out 10,000 free backpacks filled with supplies. And we're giving out thousands of vaccinations, thousands of free health
Wow.
screenings. We're giving away prescription glass. You'll be able to get your vision tested there and get free prescription glasses there. We're giving away groceries. We're giving away,
Wow.
I mean, you name it, we are doing it. And and it's like one of those things where I think at some point where conversations were happening about, like, hey, why are we, what's the vision behind this? Why are we doing it? I think the answer I gave them was because it's our city.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And honestly, whatever we can do, right? So
Yeah. I
yeah,
love that.
yeah.
How can people get more? How can people get more information about that? That sounds like some pretty incredible things you guys are giving away and doing for the community. Where can people find, or where is that being held, and how do they find more information about it?
Yeah, for sure. So you can actually go to the City of Lancaster website. So it's City of Lancaster CA, um, .gov/backpacks. And you'll be able to actually literally pull up the website. You'll have all the registration links. You'll be able to, whatever you're looking for, you'll find it. If you're looking for backpacks, you'll have information there. If you're looking for contact information, you'll have information there. If you're looking on sponsorship pieces and collaboration pieces, you'll have information there as well. So, whatever it is that, you're looking for, City of Lancaster CA, .gov/backpacks. And yeah. So we're excited, and it's going to be, again, something really big and epic for our community. And I always say this, and thank you for the opportunity again for this showcase, this
Yeah.
opportunity to communicate, because I think a lot of people want to serve. I think a lot of people are looking for ways to support,
I
um,
agree.
but they don't always know how. And so,
Right.
yeah, let's connect.
Yeah. For sure. Awesome. How could people get a hold of you?
Yeah, honestly, you can hit me up, 661 317 four eight
Straight with the
six
number.
nine. My number's open. Why not? Why
That's
not?
awesome.
Listen,
Love it.
everyone calls me. Everyone has my number. Do it.
Yeah.
And if you want to go ahead and go email, you don't want to share your number, well, go ahead,
Yeah.
email me.
Yeah.
So
I will say,
um
for
I,
everybody who's watching, Eric is he's not playing. Like he will bring you resources.
Mhm.
He will do whatever it takes. I personally was delivered 4 boxes of of dog beds to the hotels that we manage. So You know what's actually really funny about that? I don't even know how many there were. There was 4 boxes of these doggy beds, right? And I manage hotels that we have 50 staff members, right? And you brought them, and my initial thought was, oh, the guests would love these things, and I was pretty excited to give them to the guests. They went to all the staff. I didn't even know my staff owned dogs. Like, nobody talks about them. Like, I'm a dog owner, and so I was like, wait, like, I mean, and multiple, like, some of them, I was like, Julio, you how many dogs do you have? I mean, like, you need how many beds? Like, I had no idea. So they went to great use, man. And they're all gone.
That's
Every
funny.
single one of them went
So
to
they
a
were.
great family.
Mhm.
So thank you so much
That
for
is
bringing those, man.
awesome.
Super
That
cool.
is hilarious.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
bro. Yeah, honestly, wh- however we can, and what Christian is saying, is true. Um, I take it as an honor to be able to support my community, and I have that role, literally have that full time job role with the city, and I don't take it lightly, and then just as who I am, my persona, by all things aside, is man, I'd love to collaborate, and I'd love to build relationships. So
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
wherever we can, let's do it.
I love it, man. I love that. So, um, maybe my last question here, but so we're very passionate about the Antelope Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster. What do you think makes us so special out here, in your opinion?
Yeah, honestly, I think that the difference is um, so you look at the population here at the Antelope Valley. Um, and one of the key data that you will find is that we're composed of a family. This is this majority, a populated city on family, like that. That's literally what composes our residents. And so what really makes us different is that everyone out here is literally working to make a home.
Mhm.
Listen, that's something that you can fight for. That's something that I can fight for. That's why we keep coming back. Let's be honest. I kid you not. I know someone's watching this, and you've tried to leave. You've tried to leave before,
Yeah,
and yet here you are. You're like, man, why am I back in the AV? Like, how did I get back here?
yeah,
And I'll tell you, it's because family,
Mhm.
because that's what's driving this city. That's what's driving the vision. That's what's driving leadership. We all want to build a home. We want to build a city that we can be proud of. We want to build a community that we can be proud of. Our businesses are being driven. Yes, of course, we are all trying to make it on our own, but really, our businesses are thriving because we're engaging with families, and we want to help those
yeah.
families. And so, yeah, I would say that's really the key there.
I love it. Yeah, I agree. So for those of you who are watching, sorry that Texas didn't work out. No, I'm just, I'm just kidding. Everybody goes to Texas.
Everybody goes. Oh my goodness.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Everybody goes to Texas.
Yeah,
Welcome
you're
back.
not lying, bro. Welcome back. Oh
Welcome
man.
back home. That's awesome.
That's
So,
yeah,
do you have
exactly.
any more questions for Eric?
No, that was great.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, um, thank you, man. Thank you so
Mhm.
much for being such a servant leader and everything that you do for our community. We were really excited to have you on to share some of the wonderful things that you're doing,
Mhm.
um, so that people could reach out to you and just not even just our community, but like I said, our network of
Mhm.
real estate friends as well, who I'm sure are going to be hopefully reaching out to you for your construction firm as well. So just thanks for everything you do, man. Thanks for jumping on
Mhm.
our podcast and sharing some of the wonderful things you do and continuing to serve. And I'm blessed we're blessed to call you a friend and serve with you. So thank you so much, man. We appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you.
No, likewise. Thank you so much, both of you. It's been a privilege and honor, honestly. Um, Being on here, it feels I feel blessed just to have this conversation. So thank you.
Love it.
It's been awesome.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. So thank you to anybody who is watching. We will catch you on the next episode of Christian and Crystal. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.